Hey guys, my name's Jared Caramon,
What's up, guys? I'm Jake McDonald.
and we are bringing to you today an awesome podcast that we would like to do for you guys because we want to bring about some kind of change in the world. We don't know like what exactly, but we just want to bring you guys information that will help improve your lives
Exactly.
in some kind of way.
Yeah. Also, if we're entertaining in some sort, that's always a plus, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. We need if we have like those times where we match up with our words, just go ahead and take a shot. It'll be a nice little drinking
Yeah,
game.
that'll be a perfect drinking game.
All right.
so.
Cool. So I guess we'll start with why we decided to kind of do this podcast. I was kind of in a kind of rocky position with my my relationship a little bit ago, and so Jared, during that time, he gave me some advice on listening to what's called Art of Charm. They do like a podcast themselves. They're like these like life coaches, more like dating coaches kind of guys. They're really cool. Jordan, AJ, you should hit them up. You should look it up. Art of Charm podcast.com. Look up their toolbox. They'll give you some good advice on women, but they give advice on life overall too. And so we're just like we're not life coaches. We're not dating experts. Like yeah, no way.
Just a couple of guys.
We're a couple guys in college right now, and we're like, you know what? We're drinking on a Friday night. Screw it. Let's make a podcast like these guys.
Yeah, why not?
So here.
So yeah, we pretty much came to you guys today to get the word out on a lot of things, and it's not just going to be on one subject. This was inspired, of course, by Art of Charm. They do an excellent job of explaining so many different aspects to your life, such as dating and getting girls, entrepreneurship, and it. As well as many other things too, which stuff like I find interesting, especially like body language and very, very specific things regarding interpersonal interactions and stuff, which I really find interesting. But like the point is, you can use a lot of the information we're gonna give you that we've picked up from here and there. Some of it's from Art of Charm, but we've also done research into a lot of other things on the internet. So this is going to be stuff you can look up, verify for yourself, and we're just going to be going through and giving you the best of what we can find online.
Like, I think a lot of what we're going to talk about too is how like the stuff online that we looked up and like listened to corresponds with our own life experiences. Just a little bit about myself. I'll probably talk about this a lot more in depth later on. Like I said, my name's Jake McDonald. I go to Frostburg State University, represent a small school, state university school. I'm not like this big shot out there going to Harvard or anything like that. So, just like you guys. So, I just today actually was the last day of an internship that I did over in the United States Senate with Senator Cardin from Maryland, represent again. And so like throughout my life, I had to do a lot of stuff with like social excellence. I had to go through a lot of bullshit in my life. My father and my brother were drug addicts before, and thankfully they've been sober for 3 years. But that was kind of like a lot of hard stuff going on in my life and whatnot, and what I've learned from that. I'll talk about that. Big into martial arts, big into traditional martial arts, the new kind of stuff, MMA to a certain degree. I'll probably go into a rant about that at some time in the future with a future episode. I'm a philosophy minor, wish I was a major, didn't have enough time, but over at Frostburg. But we'll see how it goes. We'll talk a lot about different stuff, what I think life should be like, what I think we should be living our life like, and how I think like society has pretty much shaped what we think is like the perfect life. And, like it's okay to break through that, but you don't have to be weird about it. Like you can be a cool guy, somebody that everybody loves, but that's still different.
You don't have
with
to
society.
be that one like hipster guy, like going against the flow all the time. Weird, awkward guy. Yeah.
Society sucks, and I'm gonna go to my coffee shop and get my latte and drink it here while being antisocial.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be like that.
But yeah, a little bit about myself. Let's see. Grew up in Virginia, moved to Maryland. Throughout all of high school. Ooh, Snapchat, nice one. Throughout all of high school, and actually middle school, really, I was never that. I don't know what's I guess like popular or really social. And so I was always really about doing my own thing. So whether that be science, music, just playing video games on my own, especially in middle school, I was all about doing my own thing. And I never really got out there until starting like late high school, early college. I actually, after high school, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So I went to a community college, which is actually really like the best thing you can do right now. Because honestly, like if you go to a community college, you get all your gen eds out of the way. It's a lot cheaper, and you get that little shiny piece of paper, you know, the degree that you're going for, the bachelor's, and it says the same thing wherever you transfer to after community college. It's the same shiny piece of paper that you're gonna get, so it's for a lot less money. It wasn't until community college where I really started getting into being more social, trying to develop those skills, because those skills are actually very important to you guys. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, like, okay, these guys are just talking out of their ass. Like, what are they doing right now? But okay,
don't give a shit about what we're doing.
this like one, we hope we're entertaining to listen to. And I guess this is very vague right now, but we're gonna kind of narrow down, you know, our focus, and each different episode that we do or podcast that we do is going to focus on a different point. Like I'm sure like Jake's like really into martial arts, and he's been teaching me a lot about that, so I'm sure there will be a few episodes on that. Like one of my passions are singing, so we'll probably maybe do an episode on that or two, and etc etc and other stuff we find. So this is going to be stuff that you can add to your repertoire of you. And you know, the more things that you know how to do and that you know about, you know, the more rich that's going to make your character and your personality and you. The knowledge is power, pretty
Yeah.
much. So
Yeah.
you're going to be able to use that and go off of it. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we really want to make this podcast so we can help you guys out there. We've listened to podcasts that helped us. You know, I listened to some people, like I said, with the Art of Charm, some other podcasts out there, and one of the things that I really noticed is like sometimes it's really cool to relate to them, and then other times it's like I have like I can't relate to you. Like you're my like quote unquote dating coach now that I'm listening to your podcast. Like that's not what it is with Jared and I. Like we want to be your guys' friends. We want you guys to like write us. You know, we'll create an email where you guys can write us and, you know, tell us like, oh, you guys should talk about this, or like even if you want to be like, you guys suck, like whatever, just at least write us something.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to like empty. Yeah, criticism is always accepted. You know, we won't go out there and be like, oh, we suck, you suck, but yeah, maybe we will. Yeah, maybe.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah, fuck you guys. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, cuss words are fine here. That's totally chill. So I guess like one of the first topics we can go into. Do you want to just go into like what, like, you know, society kind of stuff overall?
Okay, yeah, we can touch on that this time. We'll probably make more in-depth episode later, but we thought we'd give you guys an introduction for now, and then we'll dip into like the broad kind of overall society kind of thing.
Yeah,
and
we'll just-
what our thoughts on
Yes,
this.
exactly. So I just want to point out right now and say that society overall is not necessarily like a bad thing, right? Like society obviously it works. Like people have happy lives. People, you know, they go and get married, blah blah blah. You know, they're happy with their lives. They die happy, and that's totally chill. Like that's what I want. I want people to like have good lives and die happy. Unfortunately, I feel like society, and I'm really like the opposite of hipster right now. If you guys are like, oh, here goes this guy like on a hipster, like, you know, I'm not like that at all. Like you know, like I said, I interned for the Senate. I was wearing a suit every day, going in, talking to people, talking to senators, all that kind of stuff. Like I worked for like quote unquote the man, you know. So like I'm totally chill with all that stuff. I'm a political science major. Like I'm totally not. I'm like the anti-hipster, but I do agree with them on breaking away from like the tradition of society. I feel like, and Jared might agree with me. He might disagree with me, but there's like a specific structure on the way you're supposed to live your life. Like for instance, like you're born, you go to kindergarten, then you finish your school all the way into high school, and now you go to college. After college, you get a job, and then after a job, you get married, have kids, they have kids, and then you die. And you work that 9 to 5 job that entire time. You see your kids every once in a while, and blah blah blah. And that might not be what other people want. And I think our generation's starting to get out there and be like, no, that's not what I want. They want other things. You're starting to get people who like for instance, people saying like, I'm gay. I don't want to get, married and have kids. I just want to live life and have fun. And, I want more people to be accepting of that, that idea and that thought, rather than being like, I have to hide the fact that, that I don't want to marry a girl because my family wants me to. Because they like people grew up in a different generation where that was forced upon them so much more than it is forced upon us now. But society overall, I don't want us to fall into the traps that people think are there that aren't actually there. Like most people want you to do what you want to do in life. Like for instance, like with this internship, I was at a desk all day working on a computer, sorting through files, blah blah blah, and that sucked. Like that really really sucked. And I don't want to do that. Like I like Jared said, I'm passionate about martial arts, so I'm looking into careers that I can do with that. Being a police officer, maybe going into the military, something like that, something where I can actually focus on my martial arts and make it a career rather than going to the Senate. People will think like, oh, you did an internship in the Senate, that's where you're going to go now. You're going to be a staffer in there. It's like, nah, I don't want to do that. I want to do something that's going to make me happy. What do you guys say?
Yeah. Going off the last thing you said, I think like yes, it is becoming a thing where people are questioning a lot more than I think before. Like what's going on in society right now? Like is this like really what I want to do? Like just marrying someone, growing old, having kids, retiring at like what's the average right now? Like 60 something for retirement. It's like it's really late because a lot of people, and you guys and us too, let's be honest, are very irresponsible with getting together your shit regarding
people are think like
with
some
retirement.
People think like 60 is like early to retire.
Yeah.
So explain why that would be.
So okay, the reason that would be late is because we live in a society where that's the norm. So all throughout since back like what 1920s 30s, like this is America. You always like you hear America, you think of a society where you live in, and if you work hard at something, you get a job, you work hard, you give it your all, it's the American dream. You end up successful.
The American dream, the white picket fence with the
house and the
2.5 kids.
The 2.5 kids. Yeah, you have like the little half kid running around with no head and stuff. So
that's the dream. Right
yeah.
There.
Yeah.
I will be happy.
We put him in the doghouse sometimes, and just like he comes out sometimes.
God
but
damn, I don't want him running around.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we don't let the neighbors see him or anything. So he's kind of like the secret. We just keep on the DL. But like seriously, like there's, if you guys check out, I'm gonna shout out right now, Money Mustache, Mr. Money Mustache online. He has a great blog about all of this, and it's pretty controversial. Not gonna lie. He talks about how it's just ridiculous how materialistic the society is, because that's a product of working harder to have more money, to have more things. It's very America, Western civilization, and it's spreading to the East now. You did not have the East. They did not used to be like this, but now it's all becoming very materialized, possessions and stuff like that. So this is something that if you're aware of, you can adjust your life. Like, ask yourself, like, do I really need this thing before I buy it? And you end up, we'll have a guest. His name's Matthew Fox. He's really, he got me into Mr. Money Mustache, and he found that out. But you guys can read that too. But he'll be able to explain it in a short episode, about everything. And I think that'll be really good for you guys, and it'll give you a taste of how society is kind of a little bit screwed up right now.
Yeah, Jared was just talking about like the different studies and whatnot, and there's a study I was learning about, and I'll try and possibly link this to the podcast or wherever the heck we're gonna post this thing. But anyways, it was saying that that in India, what like Americans think like one of the poorest countries out there, is that like the average life there is like the people like with their average life are happier in India with what they have is less than what we would consider than they are like the average American citizen who has so much more, which totally boggles our mind. We're like, what? We have smartphones and direct TV and red zone for the NFL where I don't have to watch commercials. How could they be happier? Well, what it is like Jared said, you're meeting your needs. So they have their needs met. They can get food for their family. They can go out and spend a little bit on, a nice, dress or something like that. But what's happening is that they don't have to spend it on these useless things, and they can spend that time with their family. And so that's nice. Like spending time with your family and friends. Like I'd much rather spend time with my family and friends than, go out and have a nice pair of shoes. That's why I like,
Imagine being able to retire when you're like age 30.
Yeah.
Like I say that, I'm like, and you guys are like, no, like that's not a thing. But
that's when you're starting your career.
Yeah.
30, right?
And I know some of you guys, this is some of the stuff that gets argued and is controversial. Like, okay, like I want to have a career and I want to work, so why do I want to retire? Like, even if I could retire by age 30, 35, why would I want to? Because let's face it, like that's a lot of years of your life that you're not really doing anything. And like if you're not working, well, what am I doing? What am I doing? I wanna achieve this and that, and that's great. But just think about it. Imagine if this is you want to have a family. Imagine being able to go home to your kid every day, and being able to spend almost all day with him, and raise him and whatnot. And also, if you wanted to work or put in effort into any other sort of venture or anything, any of your dreams, not like, oh, I'm going to go into the office and make money so my family can live, but like I have this dream that I want to do. I want to start this business. I want to do this thing. I have time to spend with my family, and I have time to achieve it too. So you're able to go out and do that and have the time to do that and still have your family financially taken care of.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, so Jared just said this, and I'm gonna kind of say it again almost, but maybe in a different way. So like if you were to retire, thinking maybe put yourself in this position if you're older than 30, which if you're older than 30, thanks for listening. I really appreciate that. We're kind of branching out to an older age group than we imagined, but that's awesome. Anyways, back to what I was saying. If you retire at age 30, what would you do for your life? Think about that. For the rest of your life, for like the rest of like the 50 years or whatever of your life, what would you do if you did not have to work? What do you like to do in your free time? For me, hands down, I'd say like that's martial arts. So why not find a career where you want to do that? Find a career that's similar and to whatever you would wanted to do if you're retiring. Because if that's what you want to do, then do it. You don't have to have 4 or 5 cars or, live in this like like, mansion of a house. And I mean by mansion, not in the American like standard, but I mean mansion compared to what they have over in Europe, compared to what they have in like Asia. And I mean Europe because like a lot of places are small, there's small land for a lot of population. They can't have mansions like that. But I mean, like just in general, like over in Asia, in Japan, in rural Japan, they have like very small houses, but they're so happy and they're doing what they love, So like do what you love and find a way to do it because it's possible.
Well, this goes back to consumerism and the belief that we need more things to make us happier. You can actually sustain a viable and perfectly proficient lifestyle on just like what 30 to $40,000 a year. Once again, go back to Money Mustache. He provides so many mathematical equations calculating all of this, and they're estimates, of course, but it's realistic, which is awesome. And if you cut out things such as like you make sure if you want to work at some place, make sure you live nearby where you're working. Do not commute, because that's you're gonna waste so much gas money.
Send it over. Even just not no, screw gas money. You're gonna waste time. Money can always be made, right? You can lose money and make money. You can lose time, but you can't gain time.
Yeah.
Like we all will die.
Yeah.
Like unfortunately that's the case. Time is a resource that you just cannot, gain back.
And the thing is, time is money. So a lot of people look at money in a short term amount of time, and that's actually incorrect. It's because if you think about it, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go out this morning, and like I'm really tired when I wake up, but I need like a latte or something to kind of get me going, right?
Like
Like
a little jump start.
yeah, a little $3 latte from Starbucks.
Sure.
Yeah. So if I do that like twice a week, that's six. That's let's say I do that 3 times a week. That's like $9 a week, right? So what 9 times 52, 450 plus 10, so like around $460 in a year, right? And so how if you do that for how many years? What I say 460 times, let's say 10 years. So that's you spent $4,600 on lattes.
Yeah. And that's a trip right there. Like if you wanted to go to like, some country out there and like if you wanted to go to Europe or like Asia or Africa, wherever, that's a like a plane ticket and then some. That's a plane ticket, a nice hotel, and some good food for a couple of days, and you come back, have a great experience. You can save up for a couple of years to do that, or you can have that latte that's gonna make you have the shits later on in the day. Like I'm gonna be serious. Like it's terrible for your body, it's terrible for your wallet. There's simple stuff that we can, and it's just there's so many things out there that we do that are like considered like the norm, like getting coffee in the morning, or having a smartphone, or like having, like I said earlier, like DirecTV or whatever, Netflix or Hulu, all of it. Think about what truly makes you happy. And, if Netflix truly makes you happy, that's chill. But if you have Netflix and you're spending your whole time on Netflix and you have DirecTV, or your family has DirecTV, but you're spending nothing, like nobody in the family's on DirecTV.
Yeah, get rid of that shit.
Get rid of it.
Why do you need that?
Yeah, come on, like let's be serious. Oh, but I like to watch the shows sometimes, when new stuff comes out. You can find it online. Let's be real.
Yeah.
You know where to go.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, do that calculation with some of your cable bills. Like, you'll be chucking that TV out the window. Like, let me tell you, it's pretty scary. And if you're able to apply this principle to a lot of the things you do in life, and you ask yourself the question, do I really need this? Like, how can I optimize this so I'm not spending money on this? This is all in the long term, folks. This is not short term. Like, obviously, if I go out and buy a Starbucks coffee tomorrow, it's not gonna kill me, It's totally fine, but like think about it long term. It adds up. So the more you can take things and be kind of be clever with it, with the things you can do, and like how can I? It's almost like cheap, but there's a difference between frugality and being cheap. And if this is for the purpose of improving your life, breaking out of the social construct that you have to retire at a certain age and spending time with your family or pursuing your dreams. Like, think about it. Whether you're religious or not, like YOLO, as far as we know right now. So you want to make the most out of your life. You don't want to follow what other people tell you what you should follow, to appear normal or appear cool or appear interesting, etc., etc. So,
yeah, I mean, and I know people say this all the time, but like this, I mean, this is the reason why people say it all the time. At any moment, any of us could die. Studying martial arts and studying the anatomy of the human body, we are incredibly vulnerable. Like, like I'm surprised that we went through like evolution and was able to become one of the best species on the planet, because we are incredibly vulnerable, and we are like these soft, squishy species that do these crazy things like travel on a highway at 100 miles per hour, or like whatever you travel at. If you're like grandma and you're traveling at 50, whatever, that's still a shit ton. Where you can get in a car crash easily and then just die. And like, what would they say at your funeral? Would people like say that you're happy, or would they say that you're mostly happy? Would you, even if you had to speak at your own funeral and be honest, would you say that you were happy in life, that you died happy? And if that's even a doubt, if you're even thinking about like, well, maybe I wouldn't say that, or maybe I'd say, yeah, I'm mostly happy. Like, no, like get fully happy. If you were to die at any second, like be happy with your life. And if you're not happy with your life, that's okay. Today is the first step to getting to being happy. Some people might declare me as a hedonist, and not in a hedonist as in like, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I mean, like the true philosophical meaning of hedonist, which we'll probably get on in a later episode. But be happy. Like, screw it. Screw what other people said. Be happy. Screw society. I guess that's kind of like what we're going on for our first episode here. And we kind of went on a lot of tangents, but we'll be getting into deeper stuff, even more of what we said earlier. But I guess just really think about where you are in life, what society has placed you in life, and just, be happy. Just simple as that. Find what makes you happy, do it, and be happy.
I don't have anything to add to that. I totally agree. That's what it's all about here. Yeah. I think we're gonna about we need to wrap this up.
Yeah. We're gonna wrap it up. I'm Jake.
I'm Jared.
And I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us.